It's here! So it's finally here! I just finished filming the cutaways for my coat video, so I'll have that linked if you haven't seen it already. But I still have my boots on, so I'm gonna go and run downstairs and I'll be right back to do the unboxing. So finally the bag is here, and what you saw there was the original unboxing of it. However, when I opened the box, things weren't perfect. So I thought I would just go through with you everything that was given to me by Haute Classics when I purchased the bag. And something that I absolutely love is that it came with the carrier bag. This is something that's like ridiculous and people get so excited over the packaging. However, I feel like when you're paying a designer price for a handbag, it might as well come with all the bells and whistles because that's part of the experience. So since I did buy this bag secondhand, I was so glad that it came with a little folder with all the information that came from the original purchase. So inside, there's the card of authenticity. I'm very glad that I have this. Obviously, I wouldn't have bought it if there was any question in my mind about the authenticity of it. This is just very good to have for your records, and I would suggest that if you do have a designer handbag that you don't keep this in it when you take it out, because God forbid if that bag gets stolen, everything that you would have needed to show for insurance purposes, that sort of thing, would have been in this card in the bag that was stolen. So there's a tip. So this one also came with the business card of the sales associate that it was bought from, and it was bought here in Toronto at the Fendi on Bloor Street. And I still have the phone number and the WeChat of the person that sold it, so if I do ever need to reach out to them, or at least reach out to the store, I know who to ask for. If there are any questions that I have about the bag, I'm sure it would be on record, and if not, at least I have peace of mind knowing that it came from a legit store. And just like everything else, this just provides more peace of mind for me that not only is it authentic, but I can trace back to the original store if I ever have a problem. Next is a little care guide, and no, it's not a care guide. I'm just reading it now, and it says, "Dear customer, the product you have purchased contains a label equipped with radio frequency identification. This label provides information about the production and origin of the product. Fendi is pleased to provide the best and most innovative technology to fight counterfeiting." Amazing. Who knew? Not that this is important at all, this is just a little tissue to go in between the receipt and the rest of the items in the folder. And what made me the happiest is the original receipt. So this has everything that I need to know, as well as the original price, and it's crazy to me the savings that I got on this bag. I mean, it's probably crazy to anyone how much I paid for the bag, but that's besides the point. So it was originally bought October, November, December. Yes, October 25th of 2015 at 2:34 in the afternoon. Not that anyone's asking. Amazing. So as I mentioned before, not only is it the Fendi on Bloor Street, it's the one in Holt Renfrew, just in case anyone was wondering. And last but certainly not least is the business card of the store that I bought the bag from. So this is from Haute Classics, which is a designer retail shop here in Toronto. They had a location on Avenue Road, and I believe now they're just based in Woodbridge. So it's just outside of Toronto. But obviously you can shop online from Toronto or from anywhere in the world, because that's just how the World Wide Web works. Honestly, I can't recommend them enough because their service was incredible. I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna be buying anything, I wanna see extra pictures, and not only pictures, here's another tip, get video, because you can't hide any imperfections when it comes to a video. This is something that I do every single time, and it just ensures that they're not just taking photos of an item at a certain angle to make things look a little less damaged or a little less color transferred. Is that the right way to use that? And to me, it's just the absolute best way of being able to see an item when you can't physically in store. So because obviously COVID, I wasn't able to go in and actually see it before I bought it. So I basically put myself at their mercy and just hoped that their advertisement of the bag was actually how it was listed. And if you wanted to see a full video of all the tips and tricks that I use when I'm buying anything, not just handbags, but especially anything designer, secondhand, pre-loved, thrifted, secondhand marketed, then just let me know and I'd be happy to give you a list of all the things that I do to ensure that I'll be happy with my purchase. So I'm also gonna have everything about Haute Classics linked, so I'll have their Instagram. I'll also list all the information on their business card, just in case you did want to purchase from them. To me, there's like no better way of shopping local than buying yourself a handbag. So in order to do that, and in order to support their shop, which to me is local enough, even though we aren't in the exact same city, it's very, very close. So I was happy to be able to support them through this difficult time and treat myself a little bit. Someone else that recommends Haute Classics over and over again is Nikki Sky, and I'll have her videos about her purchases from Haute Classics linked, and I know that she was super happy with everything that she's bought from there. I know for sure she bought a cocoa handle from them that was like beautiful, pristine condition. And that's another thing, is that buying pre-loved or buying secondhand doesn't always mean that it's been used, which I think is kind of crazy in a way. I mean, it's better to get some money for whatever's sitting in your closet not being used than just wasting it. So you'll see on their website that there are so many different bags, shoes, and clothes, and a lot of the time they're brand new. Okay, so moving on, the other things that I got in my little carrier bag were the dust bag for the handbag. How many times can I say the word bag? But this is something that I'm very glad about. Sometimes they just come in a dust bag, which, I mean, I'd always prefer the carrier bag too, because you just line them all up on your closet and it looks so cute. But the dust bag is something that I actually use. I know that some people keep their bags open all the time. I like to kind of rotate them in and out of their dust bags just so that they don't get either too much direct sunlight exposure or too dusty. I do actually dust my handbags, but I think that having the dust bag you can't really go wrong with, especially if you're traveling. I love to pop different things in here, not even necessarily the bag, but anything that I just want to have a little bit more protection for. These are great. Okay, now the pièce de résistance, might edit that out later. This is the Fendi Micro Peekaboo in the white Napa lambskin with silver hardware. I had to actually do some research about the difference between Napa and regular leather, and the only thing that I could really see a comparison with was in reference to making vehicles. And Napa leather is basically the less treated version of regular leather. Napa leather is typically more expensive as well. So that's what this is made of. And honestly, as far as wear and tear, there's really like nothing that I can see wrong with it. So just like Minx for All used to do, she would give us a bag tour. So it's very, very small. I'll have the dimensions on screen for you, but it's so tiny, which honestly is something that I don't mind. The micro bag trend is sort of on its way out. And the reason why I bought this now is because I've just been realizing that when I go out, I typically carry 2 bags anyway. So I normally take with me a purse, like a crossbody bag or a handbag of some sort, and then also a tote or something, because when I'm going out, more often than not, it's really just to get groceries. So if that's the case, I try not to use too much extra plastic, bring my own bags, and I typically take the bags that I already have. So there's a Pendleton bag that I have and a Longchamp that to me are the best for bringing home groceries. So because I take an extra purse with me anyway, I figured this would be perfect. Because it's so small, I feel like I can dress it up or dress it down. Normally, I just take my phone in my pocket, I take a credit card, and I take my tote bag, and that's literally everything. So something that's great about this is that my phone's gonna stay in my pocket because my phone doesn't even fit in this bag. That's something that I asked right before I got it, and she said it depends on the dimensions of your phone. So I thought, oh, that was kind of a stupid question that I asked. But yeah, of course it's gonna depend on your phone. The phone that I have, I believe, is the 8 Plus. I don't have the newest phone. I think the newest one is a little bit smaller than the one that I have, but if you have anything around that, understand that this is not going to fit it. So one other thing to note about this is that not only does it have the top handle, it doesn't have any feet, which I think I would prefer, but because it doesn't have it, to me it's not really that big of a deal. It just has a turn lock closure on one side, so this opens up, and then you can access the inside of the bag that way. There's a slip compartment there, and just to be sure I'm not lying about anything, oh no, It does. Okay, so it has two slip compartments on this side. I'll just open it up so you can see it there. And in that bottom one, it does have the identification number. On the other side, it just has a push closure. And then again, it's just small but one open pocket there. So the reason why it's called Peekaboo is because, not so much on this one, but with the bigger ones, this top part tends to flap open a little bit, and this part in the middle peeks through like a little peekaboo. Also, this top handle is removable somewhat anyway, so this top part can come off. So this side is completely fastened, but if I wanted to, this side actually, whoops, this side actually pops off, and I could just tuck this in if I wanted to, and then instead attach the crossbody strap. So as you'll see in the cutaways, it is pretty long. It's a long enough size that I don't feel like I need extra length for it. I don't feel like it's going to be too tight or too short across coats, especially in the winter time. I know it is a white bag, but I personally love white handbags and wear them all year round. I think most people think of them as a summer bag, but not me. This right now is on the shortest length, so I could lengthen it probably another 6 inches, which is nice. So at least I do have some versatility there, and as everybody loves with a handbag, the more versatility, the better. So a longer crossbody strap, I could technically wear it as a clutch if I wanted to. I have it top handle, and instead if I wanted to use this as a shoulder strap and just keep it on the shortest length, it would be a little bit long, but I think I could definitely do it. There are so many details of this bag that were so well thought through, so just because it is the micro size, it doesn't mean that Fendi took any less steps to make sure that it was just as luxurious as the bigger sizes. So as you can see on here, it actually does have the double Fs on these little metal parts here at the end. Those slits are just sort of for show. It's not that I can pop them through and expand the top part, but it's not something that I really care to do anyway. Again, on the turn lock closure, it has Fendi engraved there, as well as on the other side. This one is not functional, it just stays like that, and you just open it with the push lock on that side. The inside, as you would have seen before, is lined in like a medium gray suede, and I'm very happy that it's not in black, because even though it's a small bag, to me, whenever there's a lining in a really, really dark color, it's something that just bothers me the more I use it. So I'm glad that they decided to go with gray instead of a darker color. I think that's everything that I have to say about it at this point, because I haven't had it for very long, so I haven't been able to use it and give you like a full in-depth review of how it's working, how it works in my lifestyle, whether or not I recommend it, because I just haven't had enough use of the bag yet. But I'll be sure to do one when I've had a little bit more time with it, and I'll let you guys know how it's going. If you haven't had enough of me just yet, click on another video and be sure to check out the description box below. If you'd like to, please feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.